record.
Morning.
Good morning, Lee. Okay, and let's begin. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Flow Yoga in the morning. And I'm Adrian. For next month, this class will remain in this time slot. So, no change, except that it won't be so slow lah. We will go to a regular flow yoga class. So the difference is sometimes it'll be slow, sometimes it'll be fast. It will depend on what we are going to cover for the day. And then we are going to attempt more things because I think everybody in this class are getting quite advanced already. So we will explore a little bit more stuff. So today we're going to also set ourselves up for next month. We're going to do a little bit more core and arm work so that we can progress to arm balance for November. Okay, we're going to attempt the Bakasanas, the crane poses and all that. So today we will explore the basics of it. Okay, with that said, let's come down to the ground and let's start with a child's pose because we need our shoulders warmed up for today. So morning, Jessica. Just in time for the warm up. Okay, so we're going to begin, but our child's pose, right, is going to be a little wider. So you open up your knees wider than the body, and then from here you push the hip all the way back, as far back as you can. Stretch your hands out. So this will be an active child's pose. Now from here, gently shift your hip side to side, so that we are loosening out our pelvic bones and our shoulders. So your shoulders will also be moving side to side together with the hip. So the head will be slightly off the ground so that we're able to just move our upper body. Now, as you shift, you keep pushing your hip to the back and keep stretching your hands to the front. So we're also getting a good stretch while we are shifting side to side. So you can feel your whole body loosening up. Okay, 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Now from here, inhale, let's come back into an all-four position. We reposition our knees back to hip width apart. And then we're going to stretch our body out first. So we're going to extend the right leg back all the way. And then extend the left hand forwards. Now from here, we're going to lift the right leg up. And now using strength, we call this a bird dog position. But we need to use strength for this, okay? Now, as you inhale, with all your strength, you stretch the fingers forwards. And then your right toes, you extend back. So we are trying to stretch our body in 2 directions, especially early in the morning when the body is still very stiff. Let's give it a good stretch. Okay, we do 5 more breaths with this. Inhale and stretch, finger forward, toes to the back. Okay, 4 more. Inhale and stretch. That's right. 3 more. Inhale and stretch. So you will feel your pelvic bones and your shoulders actually shifting. Inhale and stretch. And 1 last one. Inhale and stretch. And then hand down, knee down. Let's go back to child's pose for a while. And you can already feel that one shoulder is a little bit more flexible than the other one now. Okay, inhale, come back to all 4 position. We're going to do the other side. So we extend the left leg back and then the right hand forwards. Now we lift the left thigh up. Now using strength, inhale, finger stretch forward, left toe stretch back. Okay, let's keep going. Inhale and stretch, fingers forward, toes to the back. We are looking to our fingers. Okay, inhale and stretch. Okay, keep going. We do 3 more breaths. Inhale and keep stretching. 2 more. Inhale and stretch. Use strength. And 1 more last one. Inhale and stretch. And hand down, knee down. And then now we're going to go into our downward dog. But we're going to take some time to stretch the body out. So tuck your toes in. Lift the knees and hip up and go into a downward dog. Now we're going to slowly deepen this. So we bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. So the left leg, we are trying to keep it straight and trying to reach the heel to the ground. Now we tamba the shoulders in. As you exhale, extend the shoulders back. Like you're trying to push your chest towards your feet. So we keep pushing the chest towards the feet, lengthening the shoulders, feeling the stretch in your left leg. Okay, let's hold here for a few breaths. One more breath. Now let's change. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, trying to reach the heel to the ground, and then the shoulders, you extend back further so you can feel the whole body getting a good stretch, but we start with one leg at a time. That's right, very nice. So Josita, push the chest towards your feet more. Relax. Yes, so much better. Very nice. One more breath. Okay, now we bend the both knees. Both knees, deep knee bend. Like you're trying to touch your belly to your thigh. And now your shoulders, you extend back as far as you can. Maximum as far as you can. Now slowly straighten the legs again, trying to reach the two heels to the ground. Then we have a very extended downward facing dog. That's right. Now we try, stretch the shoulders back more, two more breaths. One more breath. And now slowly, knee down to the ground. Okay, now you can feel fully stretched out. Now we're going to do a short sequence to warm the whole body up. Come back into all four position. Okay, let's begin now. We start slowly. We tuck the toes in for this. As we inhale, arch the spine, come into cow pose. Chest facing forwards, hip pushing up. As you gently exhale, suck in the belly, round the spine, tuck the chin in into cat. Now, as you inhale, lift the knees off the ground, straighten the legs, and come into plank. As you exhale, you use the hip to pull you back into a downward facing dog. Let's do 5 more of this non-stop. Inhale, knee down, arch the spine. Exhale, gently round the spine into cat. Inhale, lift the knees off the ground, straighten the legs, come into plank. Exhale, push the hip back to downward facing dog. Stretch the shoulders back. Let's keep going. Inhale, knee down, arch the spine. Exhale, gently round the spine into cat. Inhale, knees off, straighten the legs, come into plank. Exhale, push the hip back, downward facing dog. Keep going. Inhale, knee down, arch the spine. Exhale, gently round the spine into cat. Inhale, knees off the ground, straighten the legs, come into plank. Exhale, push the hip back, downward facing dog. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, knee down, arch the spine. Exhale, gently round the spine into cat. Inhale, knees off the ground, come into plank. Exhale, gently go back to downward facing dog. And last one. Inhale, knee down, arch the spine. Exhale, gently round the spine into cat. Inhale, knees off the ground, come into plank. Exhale, gently go back to downward facing dog. And from here, we do one final stretch, downward dog. Bend your 2 knees, stretch the shoulders back, straighten the legs again. So you can feel the whole body feeling very long now. One more deep breath. Now, knee down to the ground, and then we drop the whole body flat down on the ground. Now, from here, we're going to extend our hands back. Okay, chest on the ground, fingers extend back. Let's start with the chest. We warm up slowly. Lift the chest off the ground, fingers extend to the back. So hands are off the ground, fingers stretch back. We are looking slightly forwards. Now we lift a little higher. Inhale, lift the chest up one more time. Fingers extend back. And then slowly exhale, come back down to the ground. You can just lie down on the ground. We take 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Now, from here, we're going to do it one more time. We come up a little higher, and then we start adding our legs in. Inhale, lift the chest up. Extend the fingers to the back, like your fingers are trying to pull the shoulders back. Let's come up higher. Inhale, chest up. Fingers extend back. Make sure we keep breathing. Lift the thighs off the ground. Keep the legs straight. Point the toes to the back, like you're trying to stretch the toes to the back. And then slowly come down to the ground and rest on the side of the head. Okay, now we come up even higher, round 3. So we slowly let the body settle in. Inhale, chest off, fingers extend back, thighs off, toes extend back. Now let's come up higher. Inhale, chest higher, stretch the fingers back, thighs higher, stretch the toes back. Keep breathing. We hold here for 6. 5, very nice. 4, still the palm is facing up, fingers straight back, like that. Like Superman, like that. So turn the other way around. 2, 1. Okay, exhale down. Okay, okay. So it's going to be like this. You watch me one time. So it's not palm facing down. It is palm facing up. So from here is palm facing up, like you're trying to be Superman flying like that. Okay, so not here, straight to the back, because then we can rotate the shoulders and bring it higher. Okay, if it's the palms facing down, then you are very low to the ground. Okay, now the last one, we do one more time. What this does is, and why we're doing this, is to strengthen your entire back muscles, because whole day is like that. So we need to do the opposite stretch. Okay, again, one last one. We hold for 8 counts. This will warm the entire body up. 1, 2, 3. Chest off. Finger extend back. Palm facing up to the ceiling. Thighs off. Toe extend back. Let's come up higher. Inhale. Chest off. Stretch back. Thighs off. Stretch back. Look forwards. Breathe for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Bring the hands forward. Rest your forehead on the hands. Okay, let's take a 20-second rest here. Take deep breaths. Okay, 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Now from here you look up and you watch me first. Now on the next round, we're just going to focus on the lower legs. So we're going to rest the forehead on the hands. Then we're going to lift one thigh off as high as we can first. So what we want to do is don't bend now. We straighten, we stretch the toes back. Then we lift the other leg. This will help to stretch the front hip flexors and start warming up the lower back. Then on the third round, we lift both the thighs off. And then we tahan for 10. Okay, this is going to work the glutes and your lower back strength. Okay, let's do it. Forehead on the hands. Now from here, as we inhale, right thigh off the ground as high as you can. Stretch your toes back. We want extension. Lift it higher. Keep breathing. We hold for 5, 4. Very nice, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Okay, exhale and down. Let's take 2 breaths. Then we do the left leg. Okay, 1 more breath. Now the left thigh. Left thigh off the ground as high as you can. Stretch the toes back. Full extension. Then you try lift higher. Stretch back. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale down. Okay, let's take 2 deep breaths. On the next round, we lift both the thighs up. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3. Both thighs off the ground. Stretch the toes back. Try to lift the thighs higher. We hold for 8, 7, 6. Very nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and down. Okay, let's take 3 deep breaths. We do one more last one. One more last one. Okay. 1 more breath. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Thighs off the ground. Stretch the toes to the back. Then you try. One more breath. Lift the thigh higher. Stretch the toes back. We hold here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Now we're going to go into child's pose. Bring the hands to the chest. Push yourself back up into all four position. Again, open up the knees wider than the body. Push the hips back. Stretch the hands in front. The head is off the ground. Gently shift the hip and the shoulder side to side. Exactly like our warm-up. So after all that work, this one will help to fully relax your lower back and your pelvic and your rear pelvic region very quickly. And then keep stretching the arms to the front as well. 2 more deep breath. 1 more breath. Now from here, inhale, come back to all four. We bring the knees back into tabletop, so the knees will be hip width apart. Now we're going to warm up on our core muscle. We're going to begin with our shoulder work. Now that we warm up the whole back muscle already, all four positions, do a cat curl. This is what we did in our warm up. Now we bring the right knee to chest. Okay, right knee to chest. Now you use the abdominal to pull the knee higher. As you exhale, pull the knee higher. Okay, 1 more breath. Exhale, pull the knee even higher. So you can feel your abdominals holding the knee up. Now release the right knee. Let's try for the left. Do the cat curl, left knee to chest. Now use the belly, pull the knee higher. Okay, 1 more breath. Use the belly, pull the knee even higher, and then release. Okay, now we're going to come into a half chaturanga. Okay, so let's come to kneeling position first. Okay, come to kneeling. We sit back on the heel, body upright. And then let's relax the arms lightly by the side of the body. Now from here, bend the elbow 90 degrees. Bend the hands 90 degrees. So we are in a chaturanga position. Next, we're going to practice together. Your armpit, you squeeze into the body tightly. Squeeze it in tightly. Don't let go. Squeeze in tightly. Okay, now this is a feeling that we want when we want to do a half or full chaturanga. You can feel the back muscles working, right? So when we go down to the ground, you have to squeeze it in tightly. Now, bring your elbows away from the body. So you just open up a small gap will do. Now you try to squeeze your back muscles again. Cannot squeeze, right? That's why when we go to chaturanga, don't have the elbows away. Then you're only dependent on your arm muscle. You have to squeeze it in so that we're able to use the entire back muscles. You know, like when we do the chest up, we can feel all your back muscles. That's a lot of very strong muscles that will lift you up. Okay, and then we also use the core. So you squeeze in so that your whole body is very firm like a stick. The moment you open up, right, everything will collapse. Let's practice, Come back down to all four. So remember, because your arm kepit in already, right, you cannot go down anymore because you're firm. So we have to go forwards, So chaturanga, we always go forward. So you watch me one time. Don't go so low. What we do is, we look slightly to the front. Then I just bend my elbow. My chest is traveling forwards. I don't let go of the core. I'm still holding a plank. Then we do the light cat curl to pull ourselves up. Exactly like, just now the knee, you use the belly to pull up. Now we use the belly to pull us up to all four positions. So chest forward, I use the belly. I don't push with my hand. I use the belly, pull myself up. Okay, come, let's try. For 1 minute self-practice, then let me see you all do. This is all you do, All four. Chest go forward. Do the cat pose. Use the stomach. Pull yourself back up to all four. Then again, chest go forward. Okay? Okay, so look forward slightly. Then don't do a rolling motion. It's like that, Just go down, forwards, down. Then come back straight up only, smaller motion. Down, belly pull you up until arm is straight. So if the only motion is my arm, I bend slightly. my stomach pull me back up until it's straight. Okay? That's right. Okay, Sulo, good. Just like that, it's a very small motion. You only need to come up until the arm is straight. So don't go so far back. We don't want to go back to child's pose. Forward little bit, come up. You see, it's a very tiny motion. Forward little bit, come up. That's all. Jessica, how are you doing? Yeah? And then belly pull you up. Okay, okay, everybody else take a short break. Okay, Josita, me and you. Come. So Josita, what you're doing is you are doing a push-up. So you're pushing yourself up. The arms are going to be very tired. So once you're down here, do this cat curl. Okay, do one with me now. All four position, cat curl. That means we curl the belly in like you're pulling the stomach up, pushing the middle of the spine up. Now we translate to our half chaturanga. Again, chest go forward halfway. Use the belly, pull you up. Belly, pull you up. Okay, do one more for me. Jessica, bend your elbow, chest go forward. Okay, use the belly, pull you up, cat pose. Okay, now let's work on this. Okay, everybody, round two. Let's all do together. So Josita, so you don't push with this. So your arm only purpose is to straighten only. So we use the belly. So you see my belly, my arm is bent. I start with my stomach. My stomach pull me up. And down here, my stomach pull me up. Not push. If you push, you look like that. The stomach didn't work at all. So you use the stomach to pull you up, like you are trying to do this, like you're trying to pull the knee up. It's exactly the same feeling. Okay, come, let's try one more time. Okay, the arm straighten last, Josita. Okay, and same with Sunita. Use the belly, so the arm is last. You start the movement with the belly. Just imagine that you're trying to use the stomach to pull yourself up. Okay, looks better, Josita. Okay, bend the elbow, chest go forward, chest go in front. Bend the, yes, stomach pull in. Okay, getting better. Okay. Okay, getting there. Okay, Okay, and everybody go back to child's pose, take a rest. Good job. Okay, child's pose, take a rest. Okay, now from here, come up back to kneeling position. Then you watch me second round. So remember, we are still doing this. Kepit the armpit tightly. We're going to go to a full plank and chaturanga. Okay, so you try. If you find it very difficult, okay, come back into and do the half. Okay, now the full one we need to measure the plank first. So always measure one leg, two legs. Then chaturanga is always a plank. And then we want the chest to travel forwards. And then again, we use the cat pose. So I'm down here. I use my belly to pull me up until my arm is straight. It's exactly the same maneuver. Forward, stomach pull you up. Forward, stomach pull you up. Don't go so low. You go little bit enough. Just bend the elbow a little bit until you can feel the strain, and then use the belly to pull you up. What we want is the feeling now. Okay, come, let's do the full chaturanga if we can. If you find it very difficult, do the half like just now. Come, all four position again. Then we extend one leg back. We extend two legs back. Okay, so now we're in chaturanga. Now bend the elbows slightly. We don't go down now, we go forward. So to lean the body forwards a little bit. Use the stomach, pull you back up to plank. You can see it's a very tiny motion. The only thing that moves is my elbow. Okay, yes, Sulo, good. Okay, good, Sulo. Okay, Lee, very nice. Okay, bend the elbow a little bit, chest go forward. Josita, bend the elbow and let the chest travel forward. And then stomach pull you up. Okay, Josita, do the half. Okay, Sunita, your hip is dropping. Okay, re-engage the hip. Lift the hip higher. Sunita, hip higher. Hip higher. Okay, hold this. Okay, hold this. Bend the elbow, chest go in front little bit. Okay, use the belly, pull you up. Okay, good, Sunita. Okay, Josita, do the half. Okay, bend the elbow, chest go forward. Okay, Josita, watch me, What you're doing now is you're trying to go down. We don't want to go down. We want to go in front. So you look to the front. Don't look at the ground. Look in front. Lean forwards. As you lean forwards, you bend the elbow. Then you use the abdominals to pull you back up to straight. That's all. Forward, pull you up to straight. Okay, forward, bend the elbows a little bit. Okay, use your hip and abdominal pull you up. Okay, good. Okay, now from here, let's go back to downward facing dog. Tuck in the toes, go back to downward dog, and then we do a walking dog. Bend one knee, bend the other knee, like a gentle walk. At the same time, you keep stretching the shoulders back. Yeah, so we loosen up the shoulder first, and then knee down on the ground, come up into kneeling position. Let's relax our wrists for a while. We've been spending some time on our hands. Interlace the fingers, gently roll the wrist around. Okay, it's a little bit stiff now, I know. So we roll it gently. What we want, range of motion, slowly, then other side. We loosen up the wrist first, and then we press the back of the hands together. Okay, very nice. Okay, and then release. Now, on the next one, right, we're going to practice a mini vinyasa, the Ashtanga style. So we're going to go from our Chaturanga into an upward dog. Okay, what's the difference between upward dog and cobra? You always hear, okay, some class you do a cobra, some class you do an upward dog. To you, it looks the same. Okay, this is a difference. When we do a cobra, we are doing the cobra, the hip is on the ground. Okay, so I show you. So this is our normal cobra. We're down here, hand here. When I lift up, my hip is still on the ground. So I don't come up so high. Okay, on an upward dog, my hip and thighs are off the ground. I'm only on my feet. So I come up is higher because my thighs are also off the ground, so requires a little bit more strength. So today we do the upward dog, hip and thighs are off the ground, so you need to lift the chest higher. It requires more strength. So from Chaturanga, we will go to upward dog. Let's try together. Come to all fours, so we go towards the back of the mat, tuck the toes in, go back to downward dog. Now from here, inhale, we come into plank. So you can adjust your feet to get a comfortable plank first. Now your choice, you either do a full or half. Half Chaturanga is a knee down. So Josita, if you want to, you can have the knee down. From here, bend the elbows slightly, chest go forward. Now flip your toes. Your toes, flip, toes point to the back. Drop your hip and lift the chest. We are upward dog. So the thighs are off the ground. Don't lock your elbow, soften the elbow. Now we lift the hip up like going back to plank. Lift the hip. Then you flip your toes. Then we push back into downward dog. Okay, let's try that slowly one more time. From here, inhale, come forward into a plank. Okay, now bend the elbow, chest go forward, Chaturanga. Little bit will do. Flip your toes. Drop your hip, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, then you use the hip muscle. You lift the hip back to plank first. Then you flip the toes. Then you push the hip back to downward dog. Okay? Knee down to the ground, child's pose. Okay, good job. Now I'm going to say and then you're going to do. Okay, let's do 2 rounds for me. We'll see how our progress is. Okay, now from here, go back into downward facing dog. Okay, downward dog, very nice. Okay, so you focus on the breathing as well. Inhale, come forward to plank. Bend the elbow, go to, exhale, go to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Flip the toes, lift the hip off the ground, lift the chest, good. Now lift the hip to plank and then flip the toes first, then push the hip to downward dog. Very nice. Okay, good, Jessica. Okay, let's try that one more time. Inhale, come forward to plank. Bend the elbow, exhale, chest forward, chaturanga. Now flip your toes, inhale, upward dog. Lift the chest, that's right, thighs off the ground. Now lift the hip to plank, and then flip the toes, go to downward dog, knee down, child's pose. Okay, good job. Now what we're going to do, roll up to kneeling. We relax the wrist again one more time. And then we are going to do 5 rounds together. Okay, why we are doing multiples of this? Because mini vinyasa is the most common strength building exercise in yoga. Especially if we go to Ashtanga, this is a signature move. You end up doing hundreds of this. That's how you build the strength. Okay, so this is a very important flow. If this one you cannot do properly, right, you will struggle through all other poses, especially the arm balance. Why? When we go to the mini vinyasa, what are we working on? We're working on shoulder and arm strength. Because our arm is like from here, we go here, we go here, you're developing strength through the whole 360 degrees. And so you have very strong rotator cuff. Once your shoulder and arm is strong, especially for the chaturanga, then you can do all the crane pose, all the bakasana, all the arm balance very easily. If you cannot do a chaturanga properly, you will always struggle. Okay, so this one is like you go to the gym and lift 20 times weights. So okay, no shortcuts. Let's do it together. Come back to the mat. We do 5 non-stop. And then you focus on the breathing. I will mention the breathing every round. Tuck the toes in, lift the knees off the ground, come into downward dog. Stretch the shoulders back. Now from here, inhale, come forward into plank. Now bend the elbow, exhale, go to chaturanga, flip your toes, inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back, push the chest forwards. As you exhale, lift the hip up, flip your toes, keep pushing the hip back, downward dog. So we can, in the middle, you can flip your toes and keep moving already as you get used to it. Let's do round 2. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, bend the elbow, chaturanga, flip your toes, inhale, upward dog, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, thighs off the ground. Exhale, lift the hip, flip the toes, go back to downward facing dog. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, go forward, chaturanga, flip your toes, inhale, upward dog, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hip, flip the toes, go back, downward facing dog. Last 2. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, go down, chaturanga, flip your toes, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hip, flip the toes, go back, downward dog. Last one. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, go forward, chaturanga, flip your toes, lift the chest, upward dog. Exhale, lift up, go back to downward dog, knee down to the ground, go back to child's pose. Okay, rest in child's pose. So as you can feel, you do 5 of this. It's a very strong upper body workout. Now inhale, come back to kneeling position. Interlace the fingers. Roll the wrist around. Okay, roll the wrist the other side. Okay, very nice. Rest the fingers. Now let's come back up to the ground. We add our legs in. So we're going to do the whole flow now. Adding the legs in, we will go back into a lunge, okay, not a warrior one. So what's the difference? A lunge, I step straight back, my heel is off the ground, okay? Then we just do a simple lunge we'll do, just to build in some leg strength. So come to the front, toes facing forwards in mountain pose. From here, inhale, stretch the hands up. So we extend the hands straight up, arm next to the ear. Now from here, we go into chair pose. We sit down into a chair pose, like you're sitting on a chair. Lift the chest up, fingers stretch up. Hold for 2 breaths. Hold for 1 breath. Now from here, we push the hip. As you push the hip, you straighten the legs and reach the fingers down to the ground into a forward bend. Then we step the right leg back, 1 big step into a lunge. Okay, that means both toes are facing forwards. The right thigh is working hard. As we inhale, lift the body up, stretch the hands up. We are in a lunge. Let's go deeper. Inhale, lift the chest higher. As you exhale, the front leg go lower. Hold your lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands down to the ground. And then we bring the forehead to the knee. Straighten the front leg into pyramid. So we have 2 legs that are straight now. Relax the neck and shoulders. Give the body a good stretch. Now bend the front knee. We step the left leg back into our downward facing dog. And now we're going to do our mini vinyasa that we practiced just now. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, chest go forward, chaturanga. Flip your toes, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, lift the hip, flip your toes, go back to downward dog. Now we're going to do 1 scorpion dog. Right leg up, 3 leg downward dog. Bend your right knee. Open up the hip to the right hand side. Shoulder push back. Standing leg straight. Hip open up more. 1 more breath. Now the right foot. Step 1 big step all the way to the front. Then step left foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Relax the neck and shoulders. Now we stretch our back 1 time. Hands on the shin. Now inhale, lift the chest. Then the hip you push to the back. You straighten the legs, push the hip to the back. Use the hands, push the chest forwards. So you feel the upper back lengthening. As you exhale, relax the whole body down into a forward bend. Now we come up. Inhale, slide the hands up. Come back into a mountain pose, Tadasana. The body straight, we're looking forwards. And now let's bring our hands up for the other side. Inhale. Bring the hands up. Arm next to the ear. As you exhale, we sit back into a chair pose. Hold in chair pose for 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Now, slowly straighten the legs. Push the hip back. Fingers stretch to the front. And then we keep pushing the hip up. Fingers stretch to the ground. Relax the neck and shoulders. Left leg step back into a lunge. 1 long step. Left thigh extend back further. Make sure everything firm up. Inhale, bring the body up. Extend the hands up over the head. Now we go a little deeper. Inhale, lift the chest. Finger extend up. As you exhale, front leg go lower. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Forehead to the knee. Slowly extend the front leg straight. Relax the neck and shoulders. Pyramid pose. Hold here for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Now from here, bend the front knee. Step the right leg back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to do another round of our mini vinyasa. Inhale, come forward into plank. Bend the elbow, chest forward, chaturanga. Flip your toes. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, lift the hip, flip the toes. Go back to downward facing dog. Now scorpion dog on the left side. Left leg up, 3 leg downward dog. Bend the left knee. Open up the hip. Shoulder, push back more. Bottom leg straight. Open up the hip more. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Now the left foot. 1 big step all the way to the front. Step the right foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Relax the neck and shoulders. Now our back stretcher. Hands on the shin. Inhale, lift the chest. Then you straighten the legs to push the hip back. Lengthen the whole spine. Now from here, in this position, as you inhale, lift the chest. Slide the hands up. Come back into mountain pose. And exhale. Okay, let's take a 45-second water break. Wipe your sweat down. And then we add more variations to this position. Okay, what we just did, we tumble a few more variations. We're going to stretch our body and add a twist in. Okay, welcome back. Okay, now come back to the front of the mat. So everything we just did, we're going to tamba more, especially on the standing part. On the standing part, we're going to do some extensions, and then we're going to do some standing core work. Okay, so a little bit of excitement coming on. So from here, come back to the front. Make sure that your toes are pointed to the front. And then we begin. Hands by your thighs. Inhale. We raise the hands up, arms next to the ear, so our body is one straight line. We keep things simple. Then we sit down into a chair pose. Hold here for 2 breaths. Warm the thighs up. Hold here for 1 more breath. Now as we exhale, we push the hip back. And then we reach the fingers to the ground. So you keep pushing the hip up to the sky. So we have a very good length. Step the right leg back into a lunge. Okay, like just now, right thigh extend back. Inhale, lift the chest. Extend the hands up. Okay, very nice. Now from here, we're going to place the back heel down. So from here, back heel come down. Okay, then the toes are 90 degrees. Okay, so it's L shape at the back already. I'm going to place my elbow onto my left elbow on my left thigh. My right arm stretch across the body. Now the finger, like just now, you stretch in front. Turn the chest face up. So we open up the rib cage. One more time. We want a nice long line from the finger right until our toe. Bend the front leg lower. Extend the finger. Turn the chest more. Okay, now you're ready. The left hand extend to the front also. So from here, extend to the front. Now turn the chest more. So your abdominal is holding you up. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, both hands on the ground. We lift the back heel off. So we are back into a lunge. Then we step back into our downward dog. Now we do a mini vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, go forward, chaturanga. Flip your toes, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Now we do our scorpion dog. The hip opening, that one is good for the hip. Right leg up, 3 leg downward dog. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Both arms straight, leg straight, hip open up more. Right foot, 1 big step forwards. Left foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Relax the neck and shoulders. Hands on your shin. Inhale, lift the chest. Straighten the legs, push the hip back. Now as you inhale, slide your hands up. Come back into straight position. Now we take 2 breaths here in mountain pose. 1 more deep breath. And now, let's do the other side. Inhale, hands up. Arm next to the ear. Exhale, sit back. Chair pose. Hold here for 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Now we push the hip back and up. Reach the fingers to the ground. Step the left leg back into a lunge. Okay, Now from here, inhale, lift the body up. Bring the hands up. We deepen this further. Inhale, lift the chest. Front leg go lower. Now from here, the back heel on the ground, turn the toes out. So L shape, 90 degrees. We're going to place our right elbow onto the thigh. Make sure firm. And then extend the left arm over the head. Now we stretch the body first. As you inhale, turn the chest. Front leg go lower. Stretch the hand. Inhale, turn the chest more. Once you're okay, the right hand extend forwards. Now turn the chest even more. We're looking up to the ceiling. 1 more time. Inhale, turn the chest more. So you feel very stable. Now exhale, 2 hands on the ground. Lift the back heel off. Okay, back heel come back into the lunge. Then we can step back to downward facing dog. Now we do a mini vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Bend the elbow, chest go down, chaturanga. Flip your toes, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, lift and go back to downward facing dog. Now we do 1 last hip opening. Left hip, left leg up, 3 leg downward dog. Bend the left knee. Open up the hip. Straighten the shoulders. Open up the hip more. Now from here, step back to downward dog. In front. No, not in front. I mean, go back to downward dog. Knee down. And we come up into kneeling position. Okay, then we do one final back bend. A simple one only. So from kneeling position, we lift the hip up. Tuck the toes in. We're going to do a half camel pose just to stretch the body. Nothing too strong. Okay, so tuck the toes in. Then you lift the body up, hip push forward. So we engage the glutes first up. Push forward until you feel the glutes here are very tight so that it's wrapping around the lower back. Then we bring the hands, two hands up. From here, roll your shoulder. You see my shoulder? I roll to the back so that I open up my shoulder space. Place my palms at the back of the hip. On my buttock there, supporting my back. Now we lift the chest up. Inhale, lift the chest. Push the hip forward. One more time. Lift the chest until the chest is pointing to the ceiling. Now my right hand reach for my heel. So see, it's here. I just reach down and in. You can have the palm, you can have the fingers. What we want is straighten the arm. You push the chest to face up. Okay, so that there's no strain on the lower back. My arm is supporting my back. Now, as we inhale, lift the left hand up, extend to the back. Now we use the right hand. Inhale, push the chest higher. Half camel. One more time. Inhale. Lift the push and lift the chest higher. No strain on the lower back. We are bending from the upper back. Now to recover, very important. The left hand point to the front. So we have a counter weight. Then look in front. The head, look in front first. Then you push with your right hand to make sure that we don't have stress on the lower back. Two hands forward. Come back into kneeling position. Okay, so when we do things like camel pose, always be careful. Always have something, your hand or your core supporting the lower back. Don't like halfway doing camel, then you suddenly let go. Then all the strain is here. It's very easy to get hurt. When you want to recover, always counter weight. We shift all the weight to the front so that your body is pulling it back up. Okay, you're not pushing from the lower back. Let's do the other side. Toes tucked in. Again, we squeeze the butt to push the hip forward so that here, the glute muscles are protecting our lower back. Then we extend our hands up. Then roll the shoulder to the back. Place your palms on your buttocks. Okay, so supporting the lower back. Now we lift the chest. Inhale, lift the chest up. Push the hip forward. Okay, one more time. Inhale, lift the chest higher. Elbow squeeze in. Now the left hand reach for your heel. You can see it's a very short distance. Just from here, I can reach. Okay, now I use my left hand to push my chest higher. Push. Now you feel that you have support already. One more time. Push. Okay, then the right hand, you just relax and raise it to the back. Now we use the left hand. Inhale, push higher. One more time. Inhale, push higher. That's right. No strain on the lower back. We are lifting from the upper back. Now to recover, the right hand, point to the front first. Then the head. Lift the head, look to the front. Then you give a light push with the left hand to come back into straight position. Two hands forwards. Come back into kneeling. So that we can get a very nice stretch without too much strain, or you always feel that I'm hanging up here, got no support. How? Okay, let's come down into sitting position. Then we finish off with one last core exercise. We will hold a boat pose for 12 we hold for 12, very simple. Okay, sit in the middle of the mat. We hold for 12, then you enjoy your savasana more. We must work for our savasana. Okay, bend your knees, slowly roll down to the ground. Okay, now walk the heels in a little bit more. Now, lift the head off the ground, lift your shoulders off, extend the hands forwards. So we're looking to the knees. Now extend one leg forward, extend two legs forwards, Thighs together, feet together. Keep breathing, Look at your toes. We hold for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, whole body down to the ground. You can turn your palms over and open up your legs into Savasana. So when you do one hard boat pose, suddenly your Savasana feel 10 times better, right? Okay, so that's why we must work for it. And then slowly breathe, let the body recover. Take a deep breath, inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. One more breath. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And continue at this pace with every breath. Just feel your heart rate slowly coming down. Your breathing slowly returning to normal. Shoulders relax, neck relax. And we're just going to stay here for another 3 more deep breaths. 2 more deep breaths. And 1 more breath. And now from here, we slowly close our thighs together. Extend your arms over your head. As you inhale, give the body a good stretch. Okay, 1 more time. Inhale, stretch the whole body. And now slowly you bend your knees one at a time. Keep the right arm straight. Turn the whole body to the right hand side. Take a deep breath first, and then only use your left hand to slowly push yourself back up into a nice, simple seated cross-leg position. Okay, and then in your cross-leg seated position, hands on the knees. Let's take 2 breaths to make sure that our spine is straight. Inhale. Let the body lift up, expand the rib cage. As you gently exhale, feel the neck and shoulders fully relax. The breath is relaxed. 1 more deep breath. Inhale. Lift the body up, expand the rib cage. As you exhale, neck and shoulder relax. And then the mind also is relaxed. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Namaste, everyone, and thank you for joining me this morning. So, the pace is a little higher, still not very high, so it's still a slow flow. Okay, slow flow is not a gentle flow. Slow flow just means that we are moving the flow slower so that you're able to pick it up. To pick it up for the future classes. That's why in the future I will just call it flow yoga, because we will alternate where we need to learn techniques like just now today, right? What we were focusing on is a mini vinyasa, the chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. You cannot do too fast. When you do slowly, then you understand how the muscles work. So sometimes when we want to learn technique, we have to go slow. Then once you got it, then we go a little faster so that you can enjoy the technique. Okay, so again, I won't hold you in case you want to go for the 8:30 class that's happening soon. So have a good day at work, have a good weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, Adrian. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Adrian.
Welcome.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Adrian. Bye.
Bye.